How y'all doing? TK Profit. We're coming back to take a look at the trade setups we looked at earlier in the week during the 8 o'clock session. Also, the trades that we put in during the New York session. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're waiting on mRNA to give us a rejection at this level. The market closed before we saw that move. But we entered this Visa sale before the market closed. As you can see, price came down, hit our TP1. Now tomorrow when the market opens, if this area is failed, if price fails to create a new high or a higher high at this area, what could we could expect our other TP areas to be hit. We also looked at gold. On gold, I noticed that even through the fluctuations in price here, we failed to create a higher high. So I said as long as these highs aren't broken, then the sale is still valid. And we had the 200-day EMA trading lower towards the zone, and as soon as it reached the zone, price wicked it, and now we have a rejection and a fall out of that zone. So far it looks like the sale is still valid on gold. We also entered AUD JPY because we saw we had AUD news coming out. As you can see here, we hit TP1 and TP2. We took, Euro JPY. We're still in profit on this one. This is one we're looking to get into, so I'll come back to that one. Here, pound AUD, we got into this one. Our entry got wicked. Right after that wicked entry, we get this drop in price. And these setups were found in These setups were found during the live charting session Sunday night. We got up Monday morning during the London session and executed on these setups. And as of right now, what we're looking for with pound AUD is a break of the lows to give us a continuation to the downside. If we get the break of that lows, we have our first TP here before they're broken, just to take profit on that move. Overall, excuse me, this is a 1 to 37 risk reward ratio trade. up 1 to 4 right now, and we just entered. So nice trade, nice setup, nice execution. And if this thing continues to fall, what this would be for us would be a rising wedge pattern. Price gives you that double bottom here to create that reversal. From there we get this uptrend. Boom. If price continues to fall, this pattern will be identified as a bear flag, but in particular it will be a bearish rising wedge. Boom. If this move just so happens to play out like that. What else did we take a look at? Oh, Aud USD. Okay, earlier last week I noticed AUD USD at the lows here, and I said there was a chance we can get a potential reversal to come back and retest this zone, which we have this week. So after we had to retest this area, what we did was place a sale on AUD USD, and as you can see, we are in profit on this sale as well, with price trading underneath all of our EMAs. So we will hold this and see what happens. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to check the news. Give me 1 second. So we got Euro news. Euro news coming out. Got oil news coming out. So I've been waiting on oil to retest this zone. We had this move to the downside with oil. We have this inverse head and shoulders pattern that was printed. Once price broke above the neckline, we have this uptrend, and now it looks as if we're creating a bull flag before breaking above, creating new highs to enter in this level. Now, in this level, I was expecting to see a reversal in price and a pullback. We have the 50 fib here, and we also have the 200-day EMA on a 4 hour. looking to see that move. Either break the lows here, break the lows and retest in this area here. And if we get a break in this level, then the next possible level we could be going is down here. So that's what we're looking at with US oil. But like I said, I'm waiting on this level to get retested. Okay, you got divergence being printed on the 5 minute. So let's see what happens after the oil news. We got this slight uptrend in price here with the RSI kind of going in a downtrend. So let's see how this turns out. But we have bearish divergence on the 5 minute with US oil. As far as pound, pound USD, we entered a sell. We entered a sale here. Price fell to create a lower low, then pulled back to test the highs in this area before rejecting again. So now we're just holding this setup. At this point, it looks like we will get a break in the lows. Let's see if price can manage to, well, if it stays underneath this area. If so, this will be a nice entry. If we do get that rejection here, and let's say you enter here to try to catch that move down, you would still have an amazing risk reward setup if we get a rejection from here. So we'll have to wait to see what candles are printed underneath this zone to have a better understanding before we jump into a new position. But we entered up here, so we're in profit, we're doing good. But we can look to add another position here. so we've been selling this thing since here. Okay. So looking at re-enter on pound, not re-enter, looking to add a new position on the pound USD sell. Like I said, our earlier entry was right here. I noticed this structural level here. So after price pulled back to retest it again, we entered. Price gave us this double top, and immediately after we get a fall in price created a lower low and pulled back to retest. After a failure to create a higher high, I'm definitely expecting the lows in this area to be broken on pound USD. Okay. So again, if you have not entered into this setup for pound USD and you're looking to find the entry on this setup, this area here is the area that I'm looking at to add a new position. Or if you want to be the lows, placing your stop loss slightly above this, slightly above the level the structural level that was just broken. So if this was our support level, once the support level is broken, it is now resistance, and once it's retested, the stop loss goes slightly above, and we enter the sell headed to the downside. But I think I'm going to take this area and add a new position. Now when I trade, I make all my trades based on percentage. So I either use 3%, 6%, or 9% in my trade setups. In doing that, I'm able to minimize my risk and maximize my gains. So for instance, when I have trades that are down at support like this, when I'm looking for it to be broken, let's say for instance, I think price is going to continue to go down here, and I place my stop loss above here, down, and this is our support level. Let's say price, I just so happen to get stopped out on this setup, boom. Normally when we create our zones like this, even if we get stopped out, price will retest this zone, okay? And this where composure as a trader comes in. Instead of being upset that we just lost 9%, we will re-enter for a buy, placing the stop loss underneath this area, and we'll catch it going to the other side. So we probably got stopped out and lost 9% here, but we'll re-enter in the trade here, and we take advantage of another setup that's a little more than 1 to 3, which will give you more than what you lost. So the power in being objective as a trader is what will help you get to consistency as far as your winning percentage. Being emotionally stable enough to take a trade or have a losing trade without letting it deter you from your trading plan, and being focused enough to execute if you have a loser. That's what turns you into a professional trader, the ability to weather the storm emotionally so you can execute. Okay, so right now our gold sale is in profit. Again, our AUD USD sale is in profit, and we are in profit on that pound USD. I was like, again, I'm looking to find an area to add a new position on this pound USD sale. That's why I'm looking at this area here. On the 4 hour, we got a nice rejection at this zone. 1 hour and 2 minutes left in this candle before we see exactly what's going on. Now, last week on our live session, we looked at USD CAD at this area for a possible pullback, and we already hit TP1 on our way to TP2. I believe the highs here in this area will be broken to come up and retest this area. Now, there is a chance that we will get some type of rejection or some type of pullback in this area, so let's see. And typically before we get a break in the highs, what price will do is create a flag. So you'll see something like this. Sometimes the flag may maintain a support level and then break above. Then sometimes you may see a flag that will give you a lower low before continuing to move up. So as of right now, we are waiting to see how price reacts at the highs here on this area on USD CAD from the buy setup that we entered last week from our live trades. Last week we finished out with 8 wins out of 10 trades. We took MRNA for a sale. We saw MRNA at this level here. From here on a smaller time frame, I called out Bearish Divergence, and I noticed this gap here and this structural level that need to be retested here. So after noticing those things, I called a sell on MRNA on that live charting session, and when the market opened, it gapped down from 304 and went to 280. So that was a beautiful setup. We got a little pullback to retest 50% of that gap and a continuation of the move. So we called a trade from 304, and we got a fall all the way to 234. And if you know anything about options, then you know it was a nice call, very nice call. He also called I also called Disney. Where is Disney? Where is Disney? Okay, here we go. I called Disney from this area. I noticed that we had a inverse head and shoulders pattern being formed on Disney. After we had a break above our neckline, I called a buy, and we were testing, well, we were taking this buy to see if the 382 level on our fib will be retested. We got a bullish impulse from 146 all the way up to 154 before giving a pullback. Now at this area, what you could be looking for when the market opens is if this area continues to be traded below. If so, there's a chance you could see a retest of this area. If not, then you get a break above with a hard close. We will come back to this area, which is that 382 level on the field around the 155, 156. I also called a Tesla sale. This Tesla sale was based off of break and retest. So we had this structural level on Tesla. After price fell below, we waited on this retest here to enter in this sell on Tesla and caught it to the downside. And on Thursday, we entered another position here from this level using the same exact concept that we used to catch that other move. We have a structural level here. Price broke below it, pulled back to retest it. We entered here, stop loss slightly above, right here, and we caught the move going down to fill this gap and just took profit in this area. But that was a 1 to 6 sale setup on Tesla, risking 9%. So for us, that return is 6 times 9. That was the percentage return on that Tesla setup using this concept. Also, I will be trading live for the rest of the month during the London session and New York session. I'm also doing another $300 challenge this month for our group. I did a $300 challenge last month where pretty much I challenge everybody to start their Forex account with $300. Follow all of my trades for free to see where we end up at the end of the month as far as our total account balance. And we ended off with 273% last month, which was pretty nice. So I'm doing it again and trading live all the way through it before I start the pre-launch of my course, Profit Takers. But this is just more social proof to show you that the strategy actually works, and you can see it being used live, so you'll understand how serious and how accurate this thing is. Okay, then we took P-Ton. P-Ton pulled back on us before the market closed. We entered in here, almost got a dollar move out of P-Ton, then it pulled back on us. And then we took Visa. Visa came up to retest this structural level here. We sold in this zone, and we got a move from 213.09. Our TP1 was here at 210, so we got almost a $3 move on Visa today, hitting our TP1, and now we're trying to see what's going to happen here with the rest of our positions. So I'm trading Forex, options, and crypto all online just to show you that there's no specific strategy for either market. Technical analysis is technical analysis, and it applies to everything. This is also another setup that we found, this Bitcoin sale. A sale that ran right into our buy limit, which was beautiful. Caught a Bitcoin sale right here at 59,000. Price went on a downtrend. All I saw was everybody saying buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. But using what we've learned with technical analysis, the same concept you just saw on the last few sales. We have we have a strong structural level with multiple rejections here. Price broke beneath that structural level, pulled back to retest it. We entered in on the sell in this area, placing the stop loss slightly above it, and we rode the wave to hell. As soon as we got in that sale and all of our TPs were hit, we entered in to buy here. Stop loss slightly above, and one wick took us from 41,000 to 51,000. So that was our Bitcoin setup. Right now we're still holding it to see what exactly happens right here in this area, if we get a pullback or if we get hit at break even in this setup. Also, you can find these setups on my trading view, so you can see them play out for yourself. Now let's go back to pound USD. Cool. So it looks like we're getting a little rejection at that area that I was speaking about. Uh-oh. So cool, we're getting that rejection there. So if you did take that extra entry with me, everything may be in luck. So what I do, instead of staring at the charts, I just set alerts and I move on. So new entry. Stop loss will be here. Set an alert for the stop loss. Oh, let me pull that above this 20-day EMA. So I pretty much just set alerts for all of my target areas and my stop loss, so I don't have to watch my trades. I also set alerts when I'm a certain pip percentage in profit, so I can move my stop loss. And that way, if you struggle with anxiety as a trader, you can avoid psyching yourself out of winning positions. If you struggle with the emotional aspect of trading, remove yourself from the screen. Okay. I'll also be back on from 9:30 to 10:30, trading live during the London session. So pretty much we look at all our setups for the week. On Sunday, we execute during the London and the New York session, and we just monitor throughout the week. So we are done with this one. Okay, we were waiting to see what happened with EuroCAD at this area, if we'd be able to enter in the sell here. Pretty much using the same thing that you saw us use earlier, what some used earlier, with waiting for the retest of a level of structure before a pullback, but this level here didn't hold, so we didn't take this trade, but this was a potential setup here. This pullback, I also called this in the live session, so this buy we called, and we were looking for the sell, but it looks like this level here may have been the level we should have been aiming for, because we have a nice rejection in price here. So let's see how price responds from here. After the rejection, it pulled back to test my 20-day EMA. Yeah. Now on the daily, this this move is retesting the right shoulder of a double top. Okay. Normally when you see the retest of the shoulder of a double top for uptrend, or vice versa, if you have a double bottom and price pulls back to retest the right shoulder, if price does not create a lower low here, you will see a break in the highs. Same thing in reverse. If price does not break above and create a higher high here in EuroCAD, we will see a rejection and a break of the lows. So that's what we use to pretty much find our setups probability. Okay, we use repeatable patterns that happen over and over again in the market to give ourselves a higher probability chance of that particular trade setup winning. And in using high probability setups, the thing that gives you an edge is discipline and the ability to stick to your risk reward requirements. Okay, so this is a setup that I would normally take for a sale. Stop loss will be above the right shoulder. And as of right now, we'll probably just trade to the lows here, because we got a lot of rejections in this area. So there's a chance we could see a pullback here before anything else happens. So we don't want to be too greedy. So this will be our target area. Well, this will be our last target area, and that gives you a 1 to almost 9 risk reward setup. And that's what I'll be teaching in my course. Not only how to trade, but how to make the best out of your trade setups. I see a lot of courses being taught, and they're showing you how to trade with a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. And as long as you win, it's okay. But if you had the ability to trade setups where you're getting 1 to 8 risk reward setups, 1 to 32, and you're basing it off a percentage. If you're doing 3%, that's 3 times 9. We're using 9%, so you know these the risk reward setups that we find are pretty amazing, and it allows us to compound our account pretty quickly. So this low, I'm gonna bring that down a little bit, but this will be our TP2. The lows here, this is our TP3. And there's a great chance that this area could get broken below. This is a weekly time frame, so those are a lot of rejections right here in this area. So if price comes back to revisit, we could definitely see a potential break in the lows here. But like I said, we'll take profit here instead of being greedy. And if price shows us that there's a possible continuation, we'll just use other strategies to take advantage on that of this move after taking profit. So TP1, Okay, cool. So these are our target areas on this trade setup. And right now I'm banking on this being, hold on, let me add these alerts first. Yeah, so far with all of those trades that we put in at the beginning of the week, we're already up over 100% of our total account. Oh Lord, TP3 hit. Yeah, so in the higher time frame, what I was saying is this could be a big bull flag, which is pretty much price coming down, giving you a pullback, boom, then a continuation. That's a bull flag. Sometimes you have a smaller flag, sometimes you have bigger flags. Like this, for instance. This is a humongous bull flag. I'm sorry. A humongous bear flag. So that's price traveling within this consolidation, well, within this range. Then you have that break, and it looks like we're having the same thing here. And this is what we're baking on as far as a supporting factor to take the sale on EuroCAD. Okay, what I was looking for was bearish divergence, which is price moving up, kind of creating higher highs, and the RSI moving down, creating lower lows. When you see bearish divergence on the uptrend, it's an indication of a potential reversal in trend. Okay, and when you have price moving on the downtrend and your RSI is moving up, that's bullish divergence. That tells you a potential reversal in the downtrend. So right now, at this area, after seeing that divergence on the 1 hour, it just gives extra confluence to the sell bias that we already called out on this setup. So we'll just have to wait and see if everything is valid with the next few candles. Yeah, so pretty much this is also the same thing as everything else. Well, all the other sales that we played. We have a level of structure, whether it's a macro, micro level of structure, a break beneath, then when price pull back to retest it, That's what we entered. Our stop loss is above, and we're about to see what's going to happen with this move. So no matter what happens with this setup, I like it. I think it's a good setup. I'm going to go ahead and send this out to our group. And the link to our pretty much a move to break the highs from here. So we're going to hold this setup as well. If you're not in that setup, we're still really close to the entry. So if it's something you want to take, you're extremely close to the entry. Just make sure you risk wisely. We have had an amazing win percentage, but I tell all of the students, if you are inconsistent with your risk, you will you'll fail. You have to be consistent with your risk. You have to be robotic. You need a robotic approach to trading to have consistency. But thank you guys for your time. Click the link on the YouTube to join our Discord, Schwab Capital. Also, you want to trade away from living while fight to stay the same. TK Profit, I'll be back on during New York session. Have a great night, you guys. Happy trading.